Northern Mtosi Bay, Lake Tanganyika, Tanzania. 5 meters deep, in a habitat consisting of sand and scattered stones, a female Olonokranos microlepis is patrolling her territory. The species is one of the world's largest cichlids. This individual is about 40 centimeters long. In the same habitat, a spiny eel of the Mastacembulus genus is startled by our presence. Here, Neolamprologus brevianalis have built their nests in the sand, excavated pits next to a stone. This species is a geographical replacement form of Neolamprologus tetracanthus found in the northern part of the lake. It's distinguished from its congeneric mainly by its yellow colour and fin margins. Neolamprologus caudopunctatus capilli lives in a sandy habitat interspersed with rocks and stones. It forages at the bottom and is perfectly camouflaged with its whitish sand. This undescribed species resembles Neolamprologus caudopunctatus, a plankton feeder found 60 kilometers south, where the distribution of the two species overlap, a range established in 2008. Also in the shallows, Neolamprologus brichardi, which here, as well as along the coast north to Capilli archipelago, has unusually short caudal fin lobes. Among the rocks nearby, Petrochromis Texas blue neon as undescribed species of the Petrochromis polyodon species complex. At barely 2 meters, there are several species in the very same habitat. Here, a magnificent Eretmodus cyanostictus. Its blue spots sparkle in the sunlight. Ophthalmotilapia, Petrochromis, Tropheus, Variabilichromis, and Xenotilapia, all feeding side by side. Xenotilapia spiloptera normally moves in groups. Here, a few individuals hovering over the rocks. At 10 meters, the light is less bright. Here, we encounter several individuals of Xenotilapia flavipinnis. The bottom consists of gravel, which slopes into deeper water in the opposite direction. Along with Xenotilapia flavipinnis, again we find individuals of Xenotilapia spiloptera. The flickering sunlight, generated by the rippling surface, reaches the bottom, where a solitary Neolamprologus christi, along with several other cichlids, is searching for food. A pair of Xenotilapia flavipinnis has come to the shallows to breed. The flavipinnis parents take turns to brood, a behaviour called biparental mouth brooding, evolved to allow both parents to eat during the breeding period. This individual is holding the brood in the mouth. Agnathochromis porphyri is searching the substrate with a keen eye. Usually this species follows other foraging species for stirred-up edibles. A scale-eater, Perisodus microlepis, is mingling with the crowd, trying to select a victim among the unsuspecting sand cichlids. This individual of Xenotilapia spiloptera is tumbling grains of sand in the mouth to obtain edibles. The species is found in a number of different variants throughout the lake, of which several are likely to be regarded as distinct species in the future. The rocky habitat is a busy place, a scene for the constant struggle for space. At 5 meters, a group of foraging Tropheus have arrived at the intersection of territories held by 3 males of the same species. The dominant males are trying to fend off the foraging individuals from their domains. Interestingly, these males have different dorsal fin coloration. One has a yellow dorsal fin, the common characteristic of this variety, referred to as yellow rainbow. The yellow rainbow was discovered in 1990 at Namansi, just a few kilometers south of here. The territory holders are overwhelmed by the sheer number of intruders. The second of the dominant males has a red dorsal fin. The discovery of red dorsal individuals in Mtosi Bay was made by African diving in 1991. They were named Red Namansi after the nearby village. This is the third of the dominant males. Its dorsal fin coloration is an interim of the ordinary yellow and red. The yellow rainbow is the northernmost of 6 varieties in southern Tanzania, similar to Tropheus mori. It is found along a 30-kilometer shoreline just south of Capilli archipelago between Katale Bay and Pinga Point. The variety is homogeneous along its entire range, except for the northern side of Mtosi Bay, its most central parts, where it's rather variable. Here, along a stretch of barely 1 kilometre, Individuals with a solid or partly red dorsal fin could be found among the ordinary yellow individuals. The fishes in the foraging group attain dull colours not to be conspicuous but to blend in. Their foraging pace is quite faster than normal, knowing they are in forbidden territory. Having many bicuspid teeth tightly situated near to the outer edges of the jaw, Tropheus bite or pull off filamentous algae from the stones. Within the boundaries of Mtosi Bay, yet another Tropheus species is found, Tropheus mtosi, an undescribed species characterized by bright orange juveniles. Found along a 5-kilometer shoreline from Twiu Point to Ilembwa Bay, the species is also called fiery fry, a name coined by African Diving in 1998. It's separated from the similar Tropheus Cichlids by a 7.5-kilometer long shoreline, where none of the species are found, and it's distinguished mainly by characters such as coloration and life history. Juveniles and sub-adults are found in the shallows, while adults live in deeper water, often deeper than 10 meters. This young individual measures 8 centimeters. Small individuals have the most intense coloration, which gradually fade as they grow older, and is replaced by a brown-greenish body color with yellow cheeks at a size of about 8 centimeters. This juvenile is 5 centimeters. If captured by an ornamental fish collector, the bright colors would soon be lost, probably due to stress, but perhaps also due to lack of natural conditions like sunlight and food. This is a juvenile, Tropheus yellow rainbow, which is accompanied by a Petrochromis fasciolatus and a Petrochromis Texas blue neon. In Mtosi Bay, individuals have been observed exhibiting characteristics of both Tropheus species. Natural hybridization at the northern side of Mtosi Bay, producing individuals of a mixed phenotype, may explain the red dorsal fin displayed by several individuals of the Tropheus mori-like species in this area. In our group of foraging Tropheus, the feeding frenzy is still ongoing. A male Ophthalmotilapia boops is vigorously taking part in the dismissal. The forming of groups that are able to overwhelm territorial defences is probably not only a feeding strategy, but may have a wider social significance. Moreover, the group can roam and survey the immediate area as the group provides protection from predators. Communication skills are needed to initiate the forming of a foraging group. The hybridization seen in Mtosi Bay today and the arise of deviant colour forms could, over time, result in new species, as hybridization is a powerful evolutionary tool considerably increasing the speed of speciation, which has played a major role in evolving several Lake Tanganyika cichlid species. Now, the foraging group starts off and heads for new areas. To avoid intruding on territories while relocating, the group moves in the open water, at least 1 meter above the bottom. The Xenotilapia species, Papilio sunflower, is common in the rocky habitat, often seen in pairs moving close to the rocks. As its main diet, this undescribed species searches the sediment layers on the rocks for invertebrates. Several Neolamprologus modestus-like species live along the southern Tanzanian shores of Lake Tanganyika. They're usually found in the intermediate habitat between rocks and sand. One of the type specimens of Neolamprologus modestus was collected in 1896 by Moore at Kinyamkolo, today's Mpulungu. Here we are waiting for individuals of Ophthalmotilapia nasuta golden to come within the range of our cameras. The so-called Kipili Gold variant was discovered at Udwila Island in 1991. These are sub-adults foraging in the sun-drenched shallows. Ophthalmotilapia nasuta golden is at home in the southern parts of the lake, where the most intense variant is found here in Mtosi Bay. Dominant males attain a dark brown colour, suppressing the bright orange seen in young or non-dominant males, with only the fins and lower parts of the body remaining orange. The species prefers the more sediment-rich areas and is often found deeper than 5 meters. It feeds on invertebrates in the biocover and sediment layer, as well as on plankton. In Mtosi Bay lives Neolamprologus christi, a slender cichlid which attains a pitch-black colour when fully mature. Some of the type specimens were collected by the British zoologist Cuthbert Christie in 1926. others by Max Pohl, here in Mtosi Bay in April 1947. This is a pair at 4 meters. The species prefers the shallow rocky habitat. The undescribed Callochromis macrops goldstreak was discovered here in Mtosi Bay in 1992. It's found in the rocky habitat, which is quite different from similar species. Males hold territories in the shallows, whereas females are commonly seen in groups. The species is a glittering guise, one of the most spectacular cichlids found in Mtosi Bay. Olonokranos De Vinti is named in memory of the young Belgian scientist Jean de Vint, who was accidentally drowned in Lake Tanganika in 1898 at the southern end of the lake. This species' diet comprises larvae of insects, mainly different types of flies, and a variety of shrimps. After mating, the Xenotilapia flavipinis pair leaves the safety of the large school in deep water and moves to the shallows to breed. Here are 2 pairs in the shallows, probably searching for breeding territories, or perhaps they are already holding brood. Our visit has come to an end, and we leave the ancient underwater world of Lake Tanganyika for this time.